What's up, everybody? Brian Tong here, and I just got back from Mountain View, California for Google I/O, and Google, they flew me out to cover the event, so I got registered at their big tent, got my badge looking spiffy, and then I got a chance to walk around campus for a little bit, and it was just really fun to take it all in. But of course, I was there for Google I/O and all of their big announcements at the Shoreline Amphitheater. So let's just talk about the hardware. And yes, we're gonna start with the Google Pixel Fold. And this is it. And it feels amazing right away. This is just the slimmest foldable phone that I have ever felt. Before I even knew the actual specs of the device, I could just tell. And it's a 5.8-inch display when it's folded with a 2092 by 1080 display resolution, up to 120 hertz refresh rate. You got high dynamic range. There's something that just feels so nice about this one. And then when you unfold it, it's a 7.6-inch display with a 2208 by 1840 resolution. Again, 120 hertz refresh rate and HDR. And you can see there's a little charm here with this animated wallpaper where the wings, they actually move as you open the display like wings spreading. Now the hinge rotates to a full 180 degrees, and when you initially open it in what feels natural, it doesn't actually open completely flat, so you're gonna have to kind of give it a little bit of extra push. And Google engineers said that's deliberate because they wanted a hinge that has resistance all the way through, so that's the trade-off. I think it kind of feels like it goes to 178 degrees, but you just gotta give it a little extra oomph to get it flat. Now you'll see the crease when it hits the light, and every foldable gets it at some angles. This isn't a horrible crease, but it's there, and it's gonna show up just like on any foldable, just like it always has. It's the nature of the devices right now. And I've used the Oppo Find 2, I've used the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold lineup extensively, but this is easily the best feeling and slimmest foldable. And I also brought out the Fold 4 just to compare, and I was just never completely sold on the candy bar style dimensions, but I love the functionality of the Samsung Fold. When both of these are closed, the Pixel Fold is thinner side by side. It's 14.2 to 15.8 millimeters for the Z Fold 4, where you get the Pixel Fold, that's 12.1 millimeters, so that's almost 4 millimeters thinner at both of their thickest points. And when both of these are open and open flat, the Pixel Fold is thinner as well. You get 5.8 millimeters for the Pixel Fold and 6.3 millimeters for the Z Fold 4. Now you don't need specs to tell you this, but in hand, the Pixel Fold instantly feels better. Even when you open it, it kind of reminds me of like a little Moleskine notebook, just the dimensions. It just feels nice. But let's take a look at this and check out the pocket test, because I tend to wear skinnier jeans. I've told you about this a lot, and the Pixel Fold also feels better between the two. Yes, it's thicker than my iPhone in pocket, but I normally have a case on my iPhone, and it just feels like maybe a couple millimeters tops thicker than that, so not much. And this is not a huge bold, and it's pocketable and foldable, and it fits in my pants. That's a big deal. Now the Samsung Z Fold, it always felt like this thick, bulging bar against my leg, and it was never really that comfortable for me. Maybe people with longer legs, maybe they don't feel that way, but although some of you might like how it looks in your pocket. But Google just absolutely nailed the design and the form factor here. Now they have some cool continuity software features for it already. If you're watching a video on the outside cover, I would say, hey, check out this really good YouTuber I follow named Brian Tong. You should definitely check it out. But when the phone is folded up and you open it up, the video then obviously plays on the dual screens in the app. And let's just say you want to take a picture and the Pixel Fold is already open. You can choose the camera app and then choose to switch to the external camera, which is its best camera. Then you turn the Fold around, you can take advantage of its 48 megapixel camera, and you can also use its ultra wide camera option, and it has a 5x optical zoom. So it is the best quality camera on a foldable, and we know how good their camera is for stills. So you're just not compromising there just because it's a foldable. Now split screen lets you swipe up from the bottom and get the taskbar, and then you can pull an app to do two things at once, right? Use both screens just like you'd expect side by side. And then they showed another fun use of their Live Translate interpreter, which could actually come in handy. Now there's fingerprint scanner built into the power button, facial recognition, and it has IPX8 water resistance. Google says it gets beyond 24 hours of battery life with up to 72 hours with their extreme battery life saver feature. And it also supports 30-watt USB-C fast charging and Qi certified wireless charging. So it pretty much has everything that you can check the boxes off for. Now, some of you in the bezel community might be looking at the screen and say, look at that bezel. And I honestly don't think it's that bad. And the feel and the functionality of the device doesn't make it an issue for me. The hinge design Google went with, even according to their engineer team, allowed the Pixel Fold to have a thinner design. That's by moving it to the edges instead of making it under the display, which would have made for a thicker phone, which is what other manufacturers have done for other foldables. So maybe you look at it, you feel it, it gives you some of those Surface Duo vibes, but I think that the trade-off is what makes this the best feeling foldable in hand, closed and open. And most of us are gonna use this phone's single screen, and yes, it's a little thicker, but it feels usable as a standard phone. Another thing with the Fold, right? It's like that candy bar. It doesn't really feel like a standard phone. You get 5.8 inches, it feels like a phone when it's all closed up. And if this isn't for you, if you want a standard phone, yeah, correct. A foldable, this is a device that does more than that. And the Pixel Fold, it's available for pre-order today for $17.99. That's $1,799. It'll be available sometime next month. You're also gonna get a free Pixel Watch with your pre-order. That's a $349.99 value added on top of that. It comes in two colors, porcelain and obsidian. The porcelain option comes with 256 gigs of storage. The obsidian one offers a 512 gig storage option for $120 more. And if you can't tell from my first impressions, I think this device is special. You know, you get all the Google AI features packed in there with a Tensor G2 processor. The price is obviously not for everyone. Come on, we all know that. But for me, I've been looking for a foldable as like a weekend warrior, just a phone as an alternative to the iPhone that just brings something different to the table for me. And I think I found it. Like the design, the form factor, the feel, not skimping by including their top camera system. That's what gets me. So I put in my pre-order for the very first foldable that I will own. And Google, they aren't giving me one of these. I'm throwing down for it because I really think it's that good. And we also have to say, right, Samsung, they deserve all the credit for establishing the foldable market here in the US and just going for it. And they really do. And they also have the largest market share for foldables today. But Google's Pixel Fold is really, to me, the type of device that just moves the category forward and will be one of the steps to just making foldables even more viable in the future. They're $1,800 now. They're eventually going to come down in price. They're going to eventually get slimmer. And the form factor, I think a lot of people that haven't seen anything like this, they're going to love it. So I can't wait to do my own in-depth review of it. Okay, next up, maybe arguably Google's best product of the year. Did my voice almost crack saying that? I'm going to say it right now. It's going to be the Pixel tablet, all right? Innovative design, taking the tablet category to a new place that everyone should and probably will copy. It's a tablet that has a charging speaker dock and can be used as a tablet standalone or connected to be a home hub. Now, it has an 11-inch display. You get a 2560 by 1600 resolution that lets you control your home as well. For me, I do have a Nest home security system, and my Nest Hub, it actually died just recently right at that 2-year mark. So right now, this makes perfect sense for me to try out and actually use as my new Nest Hub, but now it's also a tablet. Now, Google's been working on making more of their apps and working with third-party companies to just get that tablet dedicated sized apps for Android. You're gonna get their Tensor G2 processor, a 12-hour battery life. It's the first tablet with Chromecast built in, so you can throw content to it. And you can also, look, it magnetically docks to the speaker dock. But the most interesting accessory for it that has to be for me is this case with that metal loop stand. It looks classy, looks elegant, and it has a pretty strong resistance, which allows you to use the Pixel tablet in different positions, whether it's standing like an easel or setting it at this low profile angle to type on. Even one of the reps said that they take off their car seat head cushion and then put the actual Pixel tablet with the case with that metal loop on it to use it for their kids to watch videos on the road with the tablet facing the back. I think that's crazy. That's a cool idea, actually. So the case, it also acts as a guide that then also makes it a whole lot easier to dock to the speaker dock instead of just guessing for the sweet spot. It is magnetic. I found that sometimes I was kind of guessing it, but once you have the case on, that loop, it just goes, it fits right in, and it adds a classy accent from behind. Now, it comes in 3 colors, porcelain, hazel, and rose. It costs $499 for the 128 gig model, $599 for the 256 gig model, and it comes with the speaker dock for that price. So starting at $499, that is a great value. You can pre-order now, and it ships in July. And this product reminds me kind of also like the Pixel Fold. It's just, they're helping move the product category forward. You know, I cover tech. I like innovation. I like things that I haven't seen that are actually practical and bring new things to the table. So this is really cool. Okay, and then the new Pixel 7a, Google's most affordable phone, that starts at $499. You got a 6.1-inch display, 128 gigs of storage, the same Tensor G2 processor, all that AI packed into it. And then the design-wise, I love how they're doing this color matching camera bar with a metal finish that, to me, makes it even more stylish than the 7 and the 7 Pro. There are going to be 4 colors available. Sea, which is that nice light blue, charcoal, and snow. And then coral, this is a Google Store exclusive that you can pre-order today, and it ships in a week. So that was my experience from Google I/O. They showed off a ton of AI software features. You can check out their keynote online. And if you just look at what they're doing now, and they really truly have now this entire ecosystem of products. They have their ecosystem of software that they're connecting to it, a la another fruit company. They're doing it their own way, and a design language that I think is just consistent through and through. It's unique, it stands out, and it looks very modern and fresh. So, hey, thanks so much for watching this, and I'll see you on the next video. But there's my Google I/O wrap-up, all the hardware that we saw. But I'm excited for the Pixel Fold and the Pixel Tablet to replace my Nest Hub. And believe it or not, everybody, I don't use 100% all Apple products. I know. Shocker!